Are you guys afraid of AI? Do you feel like AI would take over your jobs at some point?
I will say this, right? For the most traditional agencies with high overheads and costs, they should be afraid, especially with what you were just rattling off with all of this information and these key points. They need to be aware of everything that's happening. Writing, designing, anything you can think of under the sun, guarantee there's AI for it. And if not, there will be. And the only way that agencies can survive is a couple different things. One, they need to know how to actually leverage them for themselves. And they got to be able to, create services that are more affordable at cost. And finally, I'm going to go back to my point. You cannot replicate what a human can do, and that's why I love, Penji, and why I think it's so invaluable, because, one, it's such a godsend for people like me, because, any smaller agencies, it gives them that opportunity to get off the ground, and I can't be thankful enough for that. There's also that where, number one, I can't believe you surprised this on me. I can't believe you surprised this on me. But, there's actually designers, real life people on the other side that are designing my content or the stuff that I want done. Real people are on the other side of that, helping me out. And finally, what I love about Penji is that, you guys give me feedback. There's a lot of constructive criticism. So, if I come to you with an idea that, hey, I want to do this for my brand. I was thinking about maybe doing this for the logo. And, you guys listen, you kind of take it all in and you say, I like where you're going. Maybe we should add this. Maybe we should do something like this. Maybe if you go this direction, this will help your numbers or help your traffic or help whatever it is that, I'm looking for. That's what I love about how this works. And, I'm still shocked this man is sitting right beside me. Like, it's crazy.
Well, first I'll say, thank you for being a customer, of course.
Of course.
But I think you pretty much nailed it in saying the importance of AI, the importance of understanding the importance of people. So, but I had to at least just say thank you before everything else.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jonathan, I want to ask you the same question. Do you feel, or are you afraid that AI would take over your job at some point?
Yeah, I think about this quite often, believe it or not. I don't think that is going to be the case. But I also think that you have to understand that it's there. It's like the elephant in the room. You have to at least know that it's there. You have to at least acknowledge it. You can't hide it. So I think I don't want to use buzzwords like synergy, right? But I'm going to use it because it's the most relevant. Synergy with AI and synergy with your people are vital. Now, there begs the question of, the people that are afraid about losing their job, in my opinion, when it comes to AI, more often than not, may not necessarily have the skills or the tools or maybe even the personality to actually fulfill a full job, right? Their full job role. And so to those people, you need to level up as well, right? You can't just allow a piece of technology to steal your job, or you can't necessarily allow another business to run you out of business. So if you're not leveling up yourself, if you're not studying, if you're not reading, if you're not learning, then AI has every right and authority to actually steal your job. So am I, the question was how I feel about AI as a whole. Will it ever take the job? I think it'll take the jobs that are necessary to be taken. But when it comes to the real brain power, in my personal opinion and humble opinion, I think it always requires a human being.
I do want to highlight something about Penji that I thought is very interesting. And in the age of AI, more and more agencies are actually switching over and using Penji. And one of the main reasons is really to make their agency more competitive. And I think you highlighted that, Matt,
Yeah.
where nowadays an agency, you need to be more competitive. You cannot offer design at a crazy cost like you could anymore before because there's more competition. AI is free. Not only that, there's Canva. There are many other solutions out there that a typical business owner can actually utilize. And so what Penji does is Penji allows an agency owner to actually scale their offering without a lot of overhead costs.
Yep.
It's like an extension to their company, really. It's like having 10 additional designers who really are working at a full-time capacity for your team, for your company, but you're not paying, like $20,000, $30,000 a month in payroll.
Yes.
Instead, I think what you're paying is what, $3,000 a month?
3,000.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but you're getting quite a bit of, quite a few projects done for $3,000 a month.
Oh, absolutely. The amount of work that comes with that 3,000 is ungodly because and just think if I had a bunch of people to try and do that work, who knows how long that would take. At least for me to have my own business and try to get something off the ground where I'm hiring out. And I might not have the capacity to be able to kind of say, oh, I want something like this, and Penji just automatically says, oh, we got you. We could do this for you. Yeah. This is what you're talking about, right? And I'll be like, yes, please. Yes, that's what I want.
And to add more on that, agencies are using us. Well, to add more on that, agencies are using Penji because it's reliable. It's a more reliable alternative to actually hiring freelancers because freelancers really are the ones that are most affected by AI.
Yeah.
They're not that reliable, and that's the differentiator, and that's where a lot of agencies are converting. And what Penji can offer is a more cost-effective solution. You can scale the service up or down as your agency grows, and also it's a more reliable, robust solution. Your customers can actually depend on it. And Penji designers, you also know that there's a specific skill that they have.
Yeah.
These aren't, because when you hire a freelancer, you don't know like if that person is actually good or not. Of course, they're going to say they're good.
Yeah.
But what's special about Penji is that it's a managed design solution. So you're not the person hiring that designer directly. Penji is the one managing that talent, and they're guaranteeing that we have good talent.
Yes.
So that's the biggest differentiating factor. And that's why so many agencies are actually switching over to Penji because, again, the cost, it's an extension of their team. They're able to get so much more done. It's reliable. You can get on-brand design actually, done for your clients. And in the age of AI, we're able to save them so much on, again, overhead cost.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the competitive advantage. But I do want to expand this a little bit into what AI is and what it isn't. So AI, it's not a service, it's not a product, and it's also not really a feature. Although a lot of companies use AI as a feature, AI is actually a tool. And just like any tool, and I really like, Jonathan, your example about food and restaurant, which fits in perfectly where, let's say you go to a restaurant, you're paying for the food, right? That's a service that you're paying for. What do you expect? You expect the food to be cooked. Imagine if the chef comes down and gives you a plate of raw meat, and I'm not talking about Korean barbecue. Forget that. I'm talking about like a regular restaurant. I have my beef with Korean barbecue. I don't think it's right to pay money and have to cook your own food. That's just my thought.
That's fair.
I'm gonna get canceled for this. But anyway, you go to a restaurant, you pay for a service, or you go to a massage and you pay for a service and you get the service in full, right? You get to enjoy what you pay for. With AI and with a tool, that is not the case. You go to Home Depot, you buy a hammer, right? You got to do something with the hammer to get value out of that. Same with AI. You need to know how to use the tool. It doesn't work right out the gate, and there are different skill gap. You might not be able to use it as well as another person who is more skilled. And right now, designers happen to be the experts who know how to use this tool well, which makes me think that there will be a lot of people replaced with AI. And those are the people who refuse to learn how to use the tool. And I don't think in the future, people are going to move to AI and be like, yeah, I don't want to hire anyone anymore. I'm going to use AI. I don't think that's going to be the case because the tool is very difficult to use. It's not an easy tool to use. Therefore, you need experts like designers who know how to mold and shape this tool to get exactly what they want out of it.
I think it's no different than we humans. We ruin everything, like literally everything. You can argue, the Earth. You can argue, social media. We destroyed that and ran that into the ground. But I think that there's a period of like really sexy cool, which is kind of what AI is now. And then you have this level of exhaustion where people are just constantly using it, overusing it. Eventually, more people are going to get on it. And people are going to become even more confused. And what happens when you get confused? Well, you get discouraged. And what happens when you're discouraged? You stop using it or you stop doing it. It's no different than, our parents necessarily discouraging you from doing something. You feel defeated and you don't want to do it anymore. I think the same rules apply. There's probably like a wave of some sorts where we're pretty much at the ethos of and the height of everything that you'd want it to be. But then it's going to come down and we're going to come down from it. And people are going to realize, oh, crap, I have to understand it to do it. And I think that's where the professionals come in, is when you're actually able to manage it, you're able to use it, you're able to know the value, and you collaborate with a professional that understands that too. I think that's where you win.
Yeah. And while we're on social media, that's a great topic for us to segue into addictions. All right, fun question for both of you. What are your current addictions or obsessions?
Being on my phone too much. Honestly.
Yeah.
That's to everybody, though.
I mean, it's true though. I hate it. So I just put timers on everything, and I lock a lot of my apps just so that way I can get off of it. Because I'm sorry, but every time that thing on Sunday comes and it says your screen time, God, I shudder. So I take a lot of logical steps to ensure like I can cut that down, because it was like 8 some hours or whatever, and I have it down to 3 or 4.
Nice.
So
Pretty good. That's like your profit, your margins. 90% cut. Nice.
yes.
Well done.
Yes.
How about you, Jonathan? What's your addiction?
So I have one weird one. I've been obsessed with sardines recently. I don't understand why. I go to a fish market right around the corner from me, and I've ordered like sardines cut for you, and then I just go home and I cook them. And last night I cooked it, and I pretty much ran my fiance out of the house because it smelled so bad. Has nothing to do with social media at all, but sardines are really good. Highly recommend it.
Do you put that on pizza?
I would say you can, right?
The Ninja Turtles would be
Has to
very.
be.
You could put anything on pizza, and I feel like it would go really well.
No, you can't.
Pineapple was controversial enough, John.
I would do it.
No pineapple.
Yeah,
No pineapple.
fair enough.
By the way, speaking of food, I love Korean barbecue. Don't start me on this. I love it. I
don't know,
Leave
just-
that be.
Well, that's definitely not my addiction. I just don't get the idea. Like, why would you pay? They're so expensive, and then you have to cook the food, and all that smoke and steam gets in your face. I don't know. For me, it doesn't roll down.
So good though.
Yeah, because I mean the sauce. Like, what's really good about it is the sauce. So all you gotta do is buy the sauce, go home, and just cook it on a grill yourself.
But it's the atmosphere. You're paying for the atmosphere. You're paying
That
for
is
the
fair.
experience.
That is fair.
You're paying for the
You
atmosphere.
can
You're
run
paying
it-
for the experience.
Yeah.
You can't. There's certain things that, as trivial as it might be. Oh, you gotta cook it for yourself. But I mean, you're not gonna get that type of atmosphere. You're not gonna get that type of anything at home. You're
Don't come to
essentially.
my home.
Hey, I'm just saying. Like, I love it. I don't care what this man says. It's great.
We're gonna delete this part right here. Anyway, so I want to say thank you again, Jonathan and Matt, for joining us today. Such a pleasure talking to you two and picking inside your guys' brains.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right. See you, everyone.